say, bring me a drink. Yes. Yeah.
This will be just about everybody.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm not emotional or anything. My friend Hardy, for your birthday. He and I've been friends together.
Pull yourself
You can slap her.
He and I've been friends since we were age 13. However, we lost touch with each other when we married and you moved away to Toronto. But back to our friendship. We met at the Estonian Girl Guides, where we were only allowed to speak Estonian, no English. For each English word spoken, we had to pay 25 cents. Big money in those days. I hate saying those days as it sounds so long ago, like in fact ancient. We struck up a friendship and we discovered that we both loved art and swimming. Although you lived on the west side and I lived on the east side, we managed to connect somewhere in the middle, mostly west side where most of the Estonians lived. Busing and walking were safe for 13 and 14-year-olds in the old days. I really admired you and looked up to you, Hardy. Still do. You were taller, a bit older, by a few months, intelligent, beautiful, had a great figure with lovely long legs, well-developed bust. My bust was 32B then. Yeah, lovely complexion. All of which you still are and have. I wish I had the secret to your beautiful complexion.
Yeah.
On Saturday mornings, we would meet at the Old Vancouver Art Gallery for art classes. The gallery at that time was closer to Stanley Park on Georgia Street. After art classes, we went to Crystal Pool in English Bay near the park for a swim. We really bonded. Just recently, you reminded me of some of our other experiences together, such as stealing flowers from neighbors' backyards for our moms for Mother's Day. I must have instigated that, having had the experience from my childhood in Sweden. You also reminded me of going out on Halloween, all dressed up at the age of 13 and 14, being far too old for trick-or-treating, of which we were deprived as children, as there was no such thing in Sweden, at least not to my experience. So we thought we would catch up on our missed childhood trick-and-treating. As we grew older, away from the Estonian Girl Guides and more into boys, getting married to Canadian boys, men at a young age, our moms, at least my mom anyway, really hoped that we would marry Estonian. But there were only 10 Estonian boys and about twice the number of girls. We really wanted to be Canadian and not foreigners anymore, so we married Canadians. I moved to North Vancouver and you moved to Richmond and eventually to Eastern Canada. Sometime later, around 1991, when you moved back to Vancouver, we connected again at a confirmation reunion at the Estonian Lutheran Church on Oak and 49th. We again started up a friendship from where we had left off, but now it was a little different. We now had adult children and we were divorced and we had something else in common. As our friendship bonded, we also began reflecting on our mutual heritage and philosophy. You, Hardy, are really into the mysteries of life and politics, and I love history. So we can talk away 3 hours over a dinner of shared Caesar salad, fettuccine puttanesca, that's pasta with anchovies, olives, capers, and tomato sauce and smothered with cheese, and a bottle of red wine to go with it. I really look forward to my monthly Tuesday dinners with you at Lanate. It's easy being a friend with you. We don't have to explain anything to each other, even though we sometimes share a different political opinion, like the USA election. We can begin our conversation right where we are at the moment, and it continues from there. You're the most reflective listener I know, with a great sense of humor, putting life's ups and downs into a proper perspective. You keep current on world events and are truly interested in people, land. Oh, I made a typo in here.
Hardy can point that out.
I'm truly interested in people and leave me feeling really good about myself. You're my dearest friend, pure, honest, and comfortable to be with, always. A toast.
Toast.
Much So we are going to, this is for Hardy.
Ja teine kortta elakuu, ta elakuu, ta elakuu. Ja kolmas kortta elakuu, ta elakuu, ta elakuu. Ja tuhat kortta elakuu, ta elakuu, ta elakuu. Ja klassikko kukelakuu, kukelakuu. Ja klassikko kukelakuu, nakkelakuu, nakkelakuu. You're supposed to keep singing. Very good, very good.
You love my little parties, right?
That was very good.
It's called Fortress. Because that's how I see you, as a strong fortress in this beautiful, with this beautiful building. And now there's a little bit of a story about this. You know that's from Sodom, don't you?
No, well, yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do.
Yes, I do.
And
That's
so
where her mother was, I'm not thinking well, was born.
it was the first painting that I thought for you, and then later on I thought, she was born in Badeno. You know, maybe it should be the
Phone's ringing.
You're
closed.
House painting. So then Glenn took the opportunity and sort of connected with the family, your children and Kirsty and everybody. And then we thought, well, what should it be? Should it be the fortress? Should it be the Badeno City House? Or should it be the tower with the Estonian flag on top? And Glenn and Ken, we kind of thought this one, but but you can exchange it for the house in Badeno or the tower.
This
Of
is
strength.
wonderful. This is just wonderful.
Beautiful. It looks really nice.
Is this a good time for me?
Sorry?
I have a response. I have a response. I have to go and get it because I don't speak off the cuff well, but I can read.
She was taller than me. Bigger
That should be a nice picture.
All right, if you guys hang on, I do have a thank you. It wasn't quite as big as that.
That is a beautiful picture.
By what year would that have been, to defend Estonia anyway from enemies and invaders and stuff like
I
that?
think it dates back to the 14th century.
Okay, yeah, it was
Maybe
out,
even earlier,
like it
yeah.
was one of the
our
islands that
Estonian
was in the
expert.
Baltic Sea.
Because Tallinn
And so it was sort of one of the most outermost parts of Estonia in the Baltic Sea, so that it was important to have a fortress there.
As much as I hate surprises and dislike being the center of attention, stop talking. And as much as I'm uncomfortable with people fussing over me, here I am in the spotlight. Since this feels like I was running for an award at the Academy of Aging, I prepared a few thank yous just in case I won.
I won?
Oh, thank you. Can I hand a camera?
Yeah.
Well then, I want to thank all the little people who helped me get here to this age. I mean, although not everyone has been helpful, some have even hindered, and you know who you are. Okay, listen up. I'm only going to say this once. If you need a bathroom break, I'll wait. You don't want to do a Stephen Harper and be caught in the loo in such an important moment. Just like the other Academy Awards, I'm tempted to say, you like me, you really like me. I want to acknowledge and thank everybody in the world.
You never know.
Thank you, Glenn. It's only until the last years of having you working with me in the business that I can really appreciate what you yourself always knew. When as a little boy, you wrote those words in red crayon on our walls, carved them into our piano, and always signed off with them on your writings. The words were, Glenn the greatest. You are indeed the greatest. You're a rock, a valuable asset, and a loyal and dependable employee and partner. And as much as I hate to have to do without you for a couple of weeks later this summer, I hope your visit to Estonia will be a fantastic experience. Thank you, Ken. You have no
I didn't do
idea.
anything.
That's right, I was just gonna say
No
that.
idea how much I admire your skills at making punch. Knowledgeable, interesting person with a wonderful sense of humor you have become.
Isn't the punchline supposed to come at the end?
Very good.
You have provided me with your design talents several times in spiffing up these premises. I'm also able to consult you on my gardening challenges. It used to be that I was the gardener. Not until you invited me to drive by and take a look at that basket that you had planted and hung from your balcony all those years ago when you lived in the West End did I learn of your interest in plants. I was totally taken back seeing the beautiful basket then, and I'm totally in awe of your entire garden now. The nursery business can thank you and Kevin for keeping it profitable. Thank you, Sherry, my firstborn. You have made me so proud, and to think I might even have had a small hand in the forming of the adult you have become. Despite your giving up your dream of becoming a marine biologist, you have carved out a successful career in a male-dominated business, balancing it with the responsibilities of family and the bringing up of a couple of fine children of your own. Speaking about that.
Which there's only one here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm the awesome
You
one.
should shake
Okay, Joel and Jenna, my grandchildren, two real neat young adults. Joel with the new love, but he's not here and neither is she. Jenna, beautiful, creative, the winner of this year's Easter egg decorating contest, and totally clear on who she is. Kirsty, thank you, my little sister. Not so little if you consider height and brains. Kirsty is the achiever in the family. In fact, I'm very proud to announce that she is this year's recipient of the UBC President's Medal of Excellence. When she's not performing excellently at UBC, she's into fitness and tries to make me share her commitment. Several times a week she picks me up and drags me off kicking and screaming to the gym. In reality, if the truth be known, I'm enormously grateful. I have her to thank for keeping me somewhat fit and relatively healthy despite myself. And thank you, Ross. Always there to support me with business analysis and advice, usually turning such into carefully thought out and perfectly worded writings. And we won't say anything about your sense of humor.
You don't have time.
Bob isn't here.
No,
But I'll read it anyway. Bob, my son-in-law, the guy who pretends to be a plumber now and then. Long story for another time, but a superb photographer. Are you taking my picture as we speak, Bob? As you know, my best side is the back of me side, as opposed to my back side. One of the great memories of Bob is his eulogy at his father's funeral. It was wonderful, appropriately touching and full of humor. I hired him on the spot to do mine. I won't say I can hardly wait, but I promise to be there one way or another, along with everyone. And then we got thank you hockey fans for being here during playoff coverage. I sympathize with your sacrifice. I forgot Bob wasn't gonna be here, but
That's
he's
quite all
off watching a hockey game somewhere, right?
Probably.
Kevin, our horticulturist and dedicated student. Some of his interest in science lies in plant hybridization. He may have his name on a new plant hybrid someday. I already have my name on most plants, like hardy perennials, hardy chrysanthemums, geranium. It saves me so much time to have you do the research, time that I can then waste away reading all the other emails you send me. For those of you here who enjoy the humor I forward to you by email, you have mostly to thank Marge.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Here's Devin, who came along as a client back before Expo 86 when I was new in business and needed all the paying work we could get.
That's why you said yes.
Devin and I have had a lot of fun over the years. If you ever need anyone to plan anything, Devin's the best. She now includes David.
Now Glenn is the greatest. I'm
Yeah,
hiring him.
you're right. She now includes David in her business, her husband, a top-notch researcher, and one who always cares enough to pass on the items of interest he finds to the appropriate people. I didn't realize, I wrote this not knowing anything, I just thought I'd better cover all the bases, and it's a useful exercise anyway. So Judy, you and I go back quite a number of years when we both owned a packaged office business. Everyone needs a friend like Judy, not only because she's a fun friend, but also because she makes a mean martini and then invites me to enjoy it under the palapas in Sayulita, Mexico. It's also because she has a sister and brother-in-law, Joan and Rob, who are enormously generous to me with invitations to parties, football games, wine tastings, and barbecues. And then I say something about last but definitely not least Daryl, but he couldn't stay, so he's gone.
Forget him.
Okay, before I finish, let me acknowledge other special celebrations. Ken had his birthday on the 13th. Kevin will have his 40th on the 22nd. And Kirsty and Ross will celebrate their anniversary on the 26th. But we'll do so in California.
What about Jenna?
Yeah.
no.
Also, I didn't finish.
Exclamation point. Chronological order.
Also celebrating an anniversary is Sherry, 30 years employed at Toyota. She and Bob are being treated by her company to cruise around Mexico and will be leaving on the 24th. Is that right?
That's nice.
25th. That same day, the 25th, Jenna is going to sneak off to Las Vegas.
No, not anymore, here.
Well, she still got her 21st birthday to celebrate.
Yeah.
Have a great time, everyone. And I almost forgot, my company's 24 years old on May the 1st.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
wow.
So,
That's it?
well, I
The
got
end?
a whole page, but I could stop.
Let's have it.
If I were to give you advice based on my long experience in life, it would be to start lying about your age immediately. I've discovered that old people get weird. That's true. My mother counted things and read aloud. If we were driving, she'd read all the street names and signs. Other times she would count the numbers of ceiling tiles, piano keys, books on the shelf, anything and everything. What I do is when I get my pills and supplements ready to take in the morning, I arrange them in a creative way. Usually in the shape of a stick figure, an outer space kind of being. The calcium tablets make big eyes. The long and narrow Avapro, the upper body. The pink amiote around the lower body. Fish oil soft gels, the arms and legs. That's the idea. Then I admire my work and eventually take the different pieces one by one and swallow them with little juice. So folks, lie about your age is my advice, which I'm going to do myself right away. Better late than never. In fact, I already lied to my scale this morning. I will definitely lie about my age to my treadmill and any other machine that asks me to key in my age. In conclusion, this event is one for the books. I feel very honored and special beyond words, but don't ever do it again. Yes, of course, we're all in the same old folks' home, Shady Pines, and there's nothing better to do, and I might read an even longer self-indulgent treatise. Thank you so much. I love you all.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hardy. Happy birthday to you.
I don't think you can.
That'll finally.
No.
No, you can't pull that out.